Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Produce Buzzers podcast. We are so happy you have joined us today, and I think you will be too after the show is over, because you will learn a lot about fresh fruits and vegetables, how to select and store them, how to prepare and cook them, and surprising facts about their history and origin. We hope it inspires you to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, not only for your health, but also for your delight and pleasure as you explore their amazing world of taste and delicious flavors. Eating more of them will transform your life in so many positive ways. So settle back, relax, and get ready for another delicious adventure with the Produce Buzzers. Greetings, Produce Buzzers podcast fans. Welcome to another delicious episode of the Produce Buzzers podcast. I'm your host, Edwin Stepp, an executive editor of ProduceBuzz.com. I'm joined once again by Teresa Nolan, our president and founder of Produce Buzz, along with Rick Stepp, a contributing editor to Produce Buzz. And we are so glad to have back the lovely Cynthia Benedetto, a contributing editor to Produce Buzz. Well, we're almost to the end of May, but we have several things to present to you today that in the month of May we celebrate. And one of those is salad. May is National Salad Month in the United States. And it's great that we can celebrate the rise and popularity of these delicious creations. Almost everyone today recognizes the health benefits of salads made with fresh greens and other veggies. But for nearly 2 millennia, that wasn't the case at all. In fact, the prevailing wisdom since the fall of the Roman Empire up until the 19th century held that eating raw vegetables and greens was actually bad for your health. The Greeks and the Romans both enjoyed salads, not unlike the ones we eat in the modern day. The word for salad comes from the Latin word salate, meaning salty. While the Romans didn't call their dish salad, they often ate raw greens and herbs seasoned with olive oil, vinegar, and salt. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? There are many records from Roman writings and history that mention dishes like our modern day salads, but none no more detailed than that of Marcus Apicius, who may have been the author of the first cookbook. He lived in Rome during the 1st century CE and was considered a gourmand and an expert on all things luxurious. He described in his book many different kinds of dishes we would recognize as salads. The simple one of just greens and herbs and a vinaigrette that we find in most other historical records of the period was in his as well. But he gives a recipe for others that were quite complex. In one, he covers the bottom of a large salad bowl with bread, then adds layers of sliced chicken, more bread, sweetbreads, shredded cheese, pine nuts or almonds, cucumber slices, finely chopped onions, then finishes it with another layer of bread. Not the healthiest salad, but one that would not be out of place at a top restaurant in the 21st century. Sadly, though, with the fall of Rome, salads began to disappear from the plates of Europeans and would scarcely be found again any time before the Renaissance. Perhaps that was because of the generally poor conditions that dominated the continent during the Dark and Middle Ages, but also it was due to the massive loss of knowledge and learning that characterized those hundreds of years. Like so many things stamped out by the chaos and oppressive ruling powers of the time, awareness of the benefits of proper nutrition took a major step backward. So it would not be until the middle of the 2nd millennium that salads would again be appreciated. During those darker times, medical professions considered raw or uncooked fresh fruit and vegetables bad for one's health. But ever so slowly, as the Enlightenment progressed, more and more advocates for the benefit of them began to emerge. Francois Rabelais, a French writer and physician in the 16th century, mentioned a long list of salades, including ones with cress, hops, wild cress, and asparagus. Louis XIV was said to have a weakness for salads, according to one French food historian, and that he ate a prodigious quantity of salad all the year round. There was an emerging idea that salads were refreshing, good for the stomach, improved sleep and appetite. quenched thirst, and maybe most important, promoted one's sex life. That's probably why Louis XIV ate them so much. But about the same time in England, a writer and gardener named John Evelyn decided to write a book called Assateria, a discourse of salads. That was spelled S-A-L-L-E-T-S, but it meant salad. The book was a poetic and flowery book of prose that gave recipes for salads, but also delved into history to uncover what the Romans knew more than 1,000 years before. Evelyn was trying hard to fight the dominant idea of the day that fresh greens were only for animals and that humans were better off to stick to meat and grains. It is difficult to believe today that an idea like that could have been so prevalent, but true it was, and physicians of the day had convinced people that fresh greens and raw vegetables would sit in the stomach and rot, causing all kinds of digestive and health problems. No doubt, as a gardener, Evelyn had personally experienced the effects of fresh veggies in his diet, and now he was ready to convince others. How much impact his effort had is hard to quantify, but it would still be another 200 years before the conventional wisdom would begin to change entirely. Not surprisingly, the fastest change about salad was occurring in Italy and France, along with the progressive advancements in the culinary world there. A French lawyer turned gastronomic writer named Jean-Etienne Brillat-Savarin did his best to convince his readers of the benefits of salad in what may be one of the most famous books about food ever written. In The Physiology of Taste, published in 1825, he wrote, "To all who have confidence in me, salad refreshes without weakening and comforts without irritating. And I have a habit of saying that it makes me younger." Brillat-Savarin was the first to make the assertion, "You are what you eat." And his writings helped advance better nutrition for the whole of Europe. While progress was being made, the idea of eating green leaves and raw vegetables continued to come up against resistance by the public at large until the mid-19th century. Immigrants fleeing the revolutions in France came to Britain and brought with them their recipes for salad making, and soon many Brits were partaking of them. And by the middle of the century, salad dressings of all different kinds were becoming the rage. In America, salad was not taken seriously until after the Civil War, again, because of the general belief that raw fruits and vegetables were not good for one's health. Emma Ewing, a writer and teacher who focused on housekeeping and cooking, wrote the first American cookbook dedicated solely to the salad. Along with her books on soup and soup making and bread making, she wrote one titled, can you guess?
Salad and salad making.
Oh, Cynthia, you're brilliant. Wow, very good. That book appeared in 1883, and later in 1896, another female author named Fannie Merritt Farmer, appropriate name, popularized salads with a base of lettuce and tomatoes in her Boston Cooking School cookbook. By the turn of the century, top restaurants all over Europe and America were featuring salads on their menus. As a result, some salads reached culinary fame and stardom and became the main meal. The Waldorf salad, the Cobb salad, and the Caesar salad were some examples of how fresh greens had finally come out of the dark ages. Salad dressing companies began to spring up and flourish with the world's newfound love for all the many combinations of fruits and veggies called salad. Salads continue to become ever more popular, with more and more people searching for the healthier meal options. The latest trends are bringing salad to the middle of the plate and making it the main course of the meal. So during this month of May, National Salad Month, we hope you are eating your healthy share of salads. The new crops of fresh spring and summer veggies are arriving at your local farmers markets and grocery stores, so it's a perfect time to try some new salad recipes along with the old tried and true ones.
What's your favorite salad, Edwin?
That's like asking what's my favorite child.
Oh, you got
There's so many good ones.
I only have one, so
But I have to say, probably, you know, if I was going to do a meal of a salad, and this is not the healthiest option, but a Caesar salad is just so hard to beat. You know, it is so good if it's made the right way. You know, the Caesar salad, do you know where it originated?
Oh, I think we've talked about this before, and I
May
don't
have.
remember.
I can't remember if we've talked about it. A lot of people think it's probably Italian, and it originated in Italy. but it originated in Mexico. Tijuana,
Oh.
in fact, which you don't think of as a place
Yeah.
for luxury cuisine. But the salad was, the man who invented it was Italian. His name was Caesar Cardini. And I don't remember now the full story about how he came about to do it. But I think it was one of those situations where he had limited ingredients to serve and just concocted it. But
Yeah.
a real Caesar salad has to have raw egg. I know a lot of people probably wince at that. Maybe it's not the best thing to advise because you can get, eating uncooked eggs can be dangerous.
I'm not afraid of raw eggs, so I make my Caesar dressing, or I make my
you do?
mayonnaise. Yes.
Oh, that's right. You make your own mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to have anchovies.
Yep. Yep.
I just put a
Gives it
bunch of
that nice-
capers in it instead.
Oh, you replace the anchovies with capers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have the right anchovies. There are some anchovies that are just like unreal. They are wonderful. So,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What's your favorite salad, Teresa?
back in the days of when I could actually use a real dressing on a salad, I'd probably have to agree with you that the Caesar salad was one of my favorites. But now I just do just about anything will go in a salad. And if I put fruit in it, I don't have to use a salad dressing. So it's hard to beat a good pear salad. You take the pears and slice them up, and onion and your whatever kind of greens you want.
Yeah, I love the
And
pear salad with
good.
arugula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a
Parmesan.
spicy,
Yeah.
a spicy lettuce, arugula.
Yeah, I love it. Oh man, I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
They call it
Right.
rocket in England. Rocket.
That's
The
interesting.
Brits don't like saying foreign words, so they come up with their own. Arugula was too Italian for them, so they had
Or they mispronounce them somewhat horribly.
That's right.
Worse than I do, or worse than an American does.
They do it intentionally, especially if it's a French word, because they hate the
Like
French
chef
sound.
instead of chef.
Yeah. Buffet instead of buffet. And lieutenant for lieutenant. Okay, Rick, what's your favorite salad?
Well, I guess I'd have to call it my favorite because I eat it almost every night, but it's really more of a therapeutic salad, what I might call a 5-a-day salad.
Yeah.
So I try to have at least 5 fruits and vegetables in the salad, and I like to have them from different categories. So I start out with fresh spinach, and I take a serrated knife and I cut it up really fine so the spinach is not these big huge leaves that you can barely fit inside your mouth. So I kind of shred and then I take some, like this week I'm using red cabbage for my cruciferous vegetable. So I grate some of that fresh red cabbage into the spinach, and then I take 3 fresh strawberries from my berry category, and I slice those up into
Not
it.
4
and
or
then-
not 2, but 3.
Well, depending on the size. If they're small, I'd use 4. If they're really big ones, I'd use 2.
Okay.
I don't want to get too much on my plate. You have to kind of ration this stuff out. Otherwise, you've got a full dinner salad. And so then after that, I take some onions. Right now, I'm using Vidalia sweet onions, and I cut those up and put them in the microwave for about 30 seconds to take some of the strength out of them.
Microwave, right?
I know, right?
When did you start using a microwave?
Why? Why don't you just throw it in,
And
like do the whole salad, and then pop it in?
and then I take take a couple of vine ripe tomatoes. They're usually small ones, so I use 2. But if they're a large tomato, I'd probably use only a half of one. Cut those up in there, and then I make my own salad dressing with apple cider vinegar, turmeric, onions, peppers, garlic, and did I say turmeric? Yeah. And then I put that all in a blender and blend it so it's like a really juicy salad dressing. And I don't put any oil in it. So I just pour that. I love vinegar-based dressing, so I just pour that on top, and then I take a big, large tablespoon and mix it all up. Put some pepper on top for seasoning, and mix it all up, and then I eat it with a spoon because since there's no oil to make the dressing stick, I have to kind of scoop the vinegar up with the other items.
Right.
So it's kind of a therapeutic salad. I do really enjoy it, but obviously if I was at a restaurant, I would probably choose whatever the restaurant was featuring. I love all salads, so it wouldn't really matter. But I don't think my salad will be a hit in a restaurant.
About Jell-O salad. Remember those?
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
I was reading a little bit about that, actually. Jell-O salads became very popular in the early 1900s. It was a sign of wealth because the only way you could have the Jell-O was if you had a refrigerator, and not many people had refrigerators. So they became popular with that.
I saw something on Facebook that showed a Jell-O salad with all kinds of like vegetables in it. And it said, the way to ensure that you'll never be asked to bring a dish again. So it's like every kind, like peas and cauliflower and all this stuff. So,
well, Mom used to make, she used to make a Jell-O salad and put like fruit cocktail in it, didn't she? What else?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Probably wasn't that good for you.
Well, here's what a lot of people don't realize about Jell-O is if you get sugar-free Jell-O, and I don't mean with artificial sweeteners. I mean, I don't even know if you can buy it, truthfully. But
gelatin, just the gelatin, probably.
Yeah, you can buy gelatin.
That's filled with collagen. It's made from collagen,
right.
And it's very, very good for you.
Yeah.
If you could leave the sugar out,
right.
But who would want to eat Jell-O with no sugar? Kind of defeats the purpose.
Put some stevia in it.
Put some what in it? Stevia?
Stevia.
Right.
Just don't like boil it with the stevia in it. Add the stevia after you have cooked it or whatever.
So Cynthia, what's your favorite salad?
Well, I'm on sort of a kick because I kind of
you get on those kicks.
Yeah, I do, and then I just wear it out. So here I am. I'm wearing this one out. It's the raw root vegetable salad.
Raw root vegetable salad. I've
Yes.
never heard of that.
I take, this is all raw, one red beet, a yellow beet. If I can find a watermelon radish, I like that one. But if not, I used Easter radishes this week. Of course,
you can find Easter radishes easier than watermelon radishes? I don't know that I've even heard of an Easter radish.
They look like just regular red radishes, but they might be a purple one, a pink one. So more of the Easter colors.
Yeah. But they're the size of a regular radish.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Our friend the jicama,
right.
Carrot. It's labor intensive, but the thing that I like about it is that I wash all the vegetables, but I don't peel them. That's and good. I use my mandolin, as I mentioned, and I julienne them.
Okay.
And then cut them perpendicular, and they're just very, very tiny pieces of veg. So they're easy to digest in spite of the fact that they're not cooked. It's a really nice color break with the red beet is just so beautiful, and the yellow. When you add like the jicama and the white, and then when you add it all together, it just is a very magenta looking salad. And then I just toss it with thyme, fresh lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil, and salt and pepper. Although there are 5 ingredients, the yield is tremendous. so I can eat out of it for the week, or I can gift
Right.
some.
Do you try to equalize the amounts of each of the roots, or do you put more of one or the other? I guess you could do it any way you want, but
Yes, I do try to make them equal in
yeah.
size. So like the beets are, I try to get medium-sized beets. The smaller the beet, the better, the medium-sized beet. And the jicama is like the white part, and the watermelon radish always adds like just that nice spiral of pink and white. So
Yeah.
it's so, in spite of the fact that it's traditionally winter veg, it makes a very nice spring, summertime. It could be just a side dish. It could be a salad. It could be in addition to romaine. So there's just a lot of different ways to utilize it.
Yeah.
And then with since it's all raw, all the nutrition, none of it
Yeah.
has been compromised by cooking.
Right, that's packed with nutrition. Yeah, it sounds like you say, those are winter veggies, but it does sound like it would be good in the summertime. Very refreshing, I think. Now, the jicama, do you not have to peel the jicama?
I don't peel any of it.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I haven't used fresh jicama in a while, so I couldn't remember what the outer.
The outside of a jicama is a whole heck of a lot easier to eat, if you will, than like the outside of a beet.
Okay. All right.
But I still use the outside of the beet.
No, I think that's good. And that's where most of the nutrition is too, I think, right? Like in potatoes,
Mhm.
probably true for all
Yes.
those veggies. Yeah. Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
Try that root vegetable salad, but I'm going to mix it with my other salad.
No, it'd be really good to mix it.
Well, thank you, Cynthia. That sounds delicious. I got to try it. She's going to send me some photos
Mm-hmm.
and we'll post them on the website so you can see that beautiful salad, what it looks like. And hopefully you can try it at home. I just remembered there's a Seinfeld episode where he goes to this restaurant with his new girlfriend. I think it's the first time they go out together, and she wants to go to this steakhouse. And but Seinfeld's kind of been on this kick where he's not eating as much meat, or maybe not eating any meat at all. But so they go to this steakhouse, and she orders like a 12-ounce porterhouse or something, and the waiter turns to him and he asks the waiter, he goes, what can I get here besides this? What do you recommend here on the menu besides the steak? And he goes, well, the lamb chops are great. Seinfeld's like, oh. He goes, how about the chicken?
Yeah, it's a whole bird.
Yeah, stuffed with
prosciutto. Gorgonzola.
So then he goes, well, I think I'll just have a salad. And the waiter looks pissed, and his girlfriend is looking at him like, you're not a man. You must be a man. And he goes, I forget what he said. Anyway, she says, are you one of those? And he goes, no, I'm not one of those. She was going to say vegetarian, I'm sure. He goes, no, I'm not one of those. I just want something light. I need something light. And then they turn away, and then you see Seinfeld looking up, and he's thinking, just a salad. He felt like he had ruined his chance with this girl.
Oh no.
We love that one.
Yeah.
Which is the ongoing theme.
It's a whole bird stuffed with gorgonzola.
Yeah, and ham and prosciutto.
Wow.
But then she goes she takes him to home to her family, and her grandmother makes mutton for the meal. And so they bring out the mutton, and this time he's going to eat it because he really likes this girl and he wants to impress her. And she's chopping it down. And she goes, oh, I'm so glad to see you eat like my grandmother's mutton. She goes, I thought you only ate salads. And he goes, no, salad's got nothing on this mutton. Okay. Enough Seinfeld references, although I'm sure that's not going to be the last one you'll hear from us. We're such Seinfeld junkies. But let's move along. Okay, Produce Buzzers podcast fans, May is also National Salsa Month. Yes, not dancing, although if you want to dance, I'm sure it's okay. But National Salsa Month, we are celebrating the delicious condiment, if you want to call it. Maybe it's not always a condiment. Maybe sometimes it's actually a side dish, but salsa. And Teresa makes some great salsa. So we're going to let her tell us all about salsa. Teresa?
Yes, I love salsa. I'll start with a quick recipe for a tomato-based salsa, which contains, I'd take maybe one medium-sized tomato, and I like a lot of onion, so maybe a half an onion in that, and a clove of garlic, and of course, my favorite thing, cilantro, which we already know 10% of the population hates because they have the anti-cilantro gene, which really is a real thing. So if you hate cilantro, you can blame it on your genetic makeup. Even though cilantro, I think we've discussed it before, it's really good for things like digestive upset, blood sugar problems. It's actually an anti-anxiety herb. And in fact, I remember reading a book about a Chinese chef who used it to bring out people's grief, to help them grieve. So he would put cilantro in things to, if someone was really, really sad, and it would bring forth their grief. And I don't know, maybe they were just crying because they didn't like it. Who knows? But yeah. But it also protects against food poisoning. Just chop those things up, throw them together, makes a great salsa. And if you want, if you're an avocado fan, you can add some chopped avocado to it and almost make it like a guacamole type recipe. Really good with chips or on a burger, whatever you like your salsa with. But then there's also fruit salsas. So you could do something like take a whole mango and chop it up, maybe some strawberries in there. Again, a half an onion. And my favorite thing again in salsa is cilantro. So throw those things in, makes a great fruit salsa, which is great on a salad, and it keeps you from feeling like you need a salad dressing. Or put it over salmon. It's very good as a topping on fish. Just some of my favorite things. And while we're talking about the benefits of some of the things that went into the tomato salsa, of course, the garlic that goes in there, good for things like weight loss. It widens your arteries when you consume it. So it's very good for athletic performance, good for the brain, increases your energy. It's antibacterial. It can actually even combat the flu virus, according to some articles I read. Good for the respiratory system. So if you had bronchitis, get a little garlic in you. Salsas can be healthy. They don't have to be just fun and delicious. They can be healthy.
They are usually, it sounds like. Your recipes certainly are. Now, you're missing something in your recipe, but maybe intentionally, that I would not have a salsa without, and that's some hot peppers of some kind. But
oh yeah, Edwin's got the hots for
He's
hot.
got the hots, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I like to
got the hots for
sweat
hot.
when I eat my salsa. So I would slice up at
Yeah.
least some jalapenos. I'm kind of getting numb to jalapenos. They're almost like bell peppers to me now. So I have to go for something a little
Oh my
strong.
gosh.
And I use all the
Burning
seeds.
up your taste buds.
That's what's happening. Sure.
Try the green chilies. Try the.
Well, I've been using the serranos a lot. And even those are not that hot for me, but I'm not crazy. I'm not looking for any kind of ghost peppers anytime soon, but habaneros, I use those. Those get my kicks.
Scotch bonnets.
I've not tried those. I've got to look for them. I don't see them in the grocery store, but maybe I'll look for them.
And if people don't like hot peppers, they can use sweet red peppers.
That's
whatever.
True.
Yeah.
It gives that crunchy flavor when you do that.
Right.
Right.
And then,
Be
of course,
careful. Edwin might be like a candidate for like a heroin addiction or something. All those like those alkaloids.
You do build a
Yeah.
tolerance for hot peppers. I've proven that
Oh.
myself because I went for several years without hardly eating them, and I came back to them, and it was extremely hot. And then you build a tolerance eventually to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course, we have our cranberry salsa that we do in
Oh, that's
Ooh,
right.
when cranberry
that is the
season.
That's
best.
right.
And
That
I do put jalapenos in that.
That's
so
right. I
it's
remember
real-
you gave us, we
Yeah.
did that around Christmas time or Thanksgiving
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah, and
You
then
use
you put
lime
the
juice at all?
salty Fritos with it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you use
You know,
fresh lime
and
juice at all in your salsa?
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
yeah, you can put some lime juice in. And if it's not sweet enough with you, just having the fruit, you can put a little honey in there.
Mhm.
It's, makes it nice and sweet.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's the fruit sauces have really seem to be very popular now. I see them on restaurant menus and popping up in my recipes that come across my feeds a lot.
Hmm.
They are delicious. Sweet and savory at the same time. So
Yeah.
that's good.
If you don't think you should use chips in your diet, what kind of fresh vegetables could you dip in salsa that would be enjoyable?
It'd probably be pretty good on cucumbers or
Yeah.
carrot.
Even celery sticks, I guess.
Or you could use some toasted bread and do it like a bruschetta.
Yeah, that would be really good.
I was thinking you could slice up fresh beets like Cynthia does with her raw salad.
I don't think beets would
Slice the beets and use them for like a chip.
be.
You know what? I saw this week, and I may post this to our social media. Once an article came across my feed for all kinds of chips you can make with veggies in an air fryer.
Mm-hmm.
If you take, and they had beets. Beets was one of them. Put it in the air fryer.
Yeah, you
And
have
make it
you couldn't do it
crispy.
raw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember those veggie chips that were the first ones to come out, and like they had that purple one, the taro root.
Well, I've seen these veggie chips in the store, but when you look at the ingredients for most of those, I don't
Mhm.
think they're any better for you than
Still fried in
I
oil.
know. Yeah.
And loaded with salt.
Right.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
But this is just taking the veggies, nothing else. I think maybe some of the recipes I saw, they might have dipped them in a batter or something, or maybe salt and pepper on them. But most of them were pretty clean.
You could take a potato and slice it like you would for chips
Right.
and do it in the air fryer. And, I think potatoes in the air fryer with no salt, no oil are fabulous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that
that's
would
an
be a
option.
good
And
substitute.
then, and the other thing is you've got the salsa to flavor it. It's
Mhm.
more like Rick's favorite thing, the delivery system.
Yeah.
The thing is, if it's crispy, then you can dip it, and then you're getting the salsa as the flavor, and you don't have to worry about salt on the potato or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And lemon juice or lime juice is a really good substitute for salt.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I think the garlic also makes it kind of salty, doesn't it? Like it makes that kind of flavor.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more about salsa, Teresa? You and Ken were going to dance salsa for us. What happened there?
His bum knee always interferes.
Okay, Cynthia, go get JR.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
He can salsa, can he?
No.
Teresa, do you actually salsa dance, or was Edwin just kidding?
Edwin is just kidding.
Okay.
I have never, I could pretend like I was salsa dancing, but someone would be looking at me saying, what's that all about?
Well, that's like another Seinfeld episode. Remember when Elaine dances?
Yes.
Have you seen that one, Rick?
I'm not sure if I saw that one.
Oh gosh.
She goes to this party and she starts dancing, and I think like Jerry was in another room or something, and somebody came up to him and said, Elaine is dancing, and he was like, "Whoa, no!" He's running. It's too late. She's making a fool.
I don't think
out
I've seen that one yet.
It's the worst dancing.
Oh yeah, they don't liken it to like a seizure, do they?
Yeah, I think they do. It's what it looks like when she's doing it.
Yeah.
I knew that would not be the last Seinfeld reference. I didn't think it would come in this same episode, but anyway, we have to move on. We have more to celebrate in the month of May before the month ends. So we've learned that May is National Salad Month and also National Salsa Month. But it's also another month for one of our favorite veggies. And it doesn't start with an S, salad, salsa. I bet you thought I was going to say something like spinach. Well, I'm sorry, wrong. May is National Asparagus Month. And Rick loves asparagus, so he's going to tell us about asparagus. Rick?
Okay. I just thought about it. Actually, some people call it asparagus. So it could be National Asparagus Month. And it was,
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a here in the mountains of Western North Carolina. That's what they call it. Asparagus.
Spare
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Spare us, please, Rick.
Ah,
yeah, asparagus.
They used to call it on Hunts Point grass.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
actually the folk name for it. The folk name for asparagus is sparrowgrass, which I'd never heard that expression, but
Probably like a spear of grass, right? Spear.
Yeah, that
I
makes
guess
sense.
so. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
in tarnation are you talking about?
And we used to call it aspergrass.
Yeah.
That's another pronunciation.
Right, asparagus.
But yeah, it's also known by the name sparrowgrass, and it's a perennial flowering plant, which I didn't know. A perennial flowering plant. Its young shoots are eaten as a spring vegetable, as we all know. The flowers are bell-shaped, greenish white to yellowish. The fruit is a small red berry, which is toxic to humans. Something else I didn't know is that asparagus actually has a fruit, which is toxic. Don't eat it.
So the fruit is toxic. We're not going to eat that. But what we do eat is very nutritious. What can you tell us about that?
It is a good source of vitamin B6, calcium, magnesium, and zinc, and a very good source of dietary fiber, protein, beta carotene, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folic acid, iron, phosphorus, potassium, copper, manganese, selenium, and chromium. So I guess you have to ask, what doesn't it have? Asparagus is native to the western coasts of Europe, from northern Spain to northwest Germany, Northern Ireland, and Great Britain. Once believed to be a member of the lily family, after recent genetic research, it is now treated as a distinct species of its own, which is unusual.
Right.
In ancient times, it was known in Egypt, Syria, and in the Iberian Peninsula. Greeks and Romans ate it fresh when in season, and dried asparagus for use in the winter. Have any of you ever had dried asparagus?
No.
Doesn't sound too appetizing. I guess if you're trying to survive. In recent years, asparagus eaten raw as a component of a salad has regained popularity. Have any of you had raw asparagus in your salads?
I have, and it's
No.
good. I've had it. Gina used to make a salad with asparagus, just the tips, very tender tips.
Okay, everybody hold your breath.
Oh gosh. How long do you nuke it for?
How much water do you put in?
Okay. I bought a 1 pound bag of fresh asparagus from Peru at my local discount grocery store. And I tried to, based on what Tree told us previously, I tried to get the larger size spears instead of the smaller size. But they
What was it Teresa told us?
Well, she had told us that the smaller size asparagus a lot of times it's tougher than the large size.
Oh, right.
Well, actually, it's the plant as the plant is starting to give out, get to the end of its life for that production year, the spears get smaller.
Mhm.
So the larger spears come from a more energetic plant.
Mhm. Yeah, so I bought a 1-pound bag. I thought I'm going to do this real simple, like I do with other vegetables, and just an experiment to see. So I brought it home. I washed it. There was no sand or grit or anything in there, but I, rinsed it off really good. Took my microwave steamer, put maybe a third of a cup of water in the bottom, put the basket in. I just took the asparagus spears. I didn't trim anything off. I just took them and they fit perfectly in there. And I microwaved it on high for 5 minutes.
Oh God.
And it was excellent.
5 minutes?
Yeah. I actually had some with my eggs this morning. It was just the right consistency. It was a little bit crisp, and I just took it and ate it out of hand. I just, the very bottom part that's usually really woody that you're going to discard. I just held it by that and I just snacked on it out of hand. And then when it got down to the part where it was too tough, I just tossed that rather than trimming it ahead of time. Because I thought, well, what if the base of the thing is good? Why would I throw it away?
Knowing you, Rick, I'm surprised you threw it away. I figured you would blend it up and put it in a smoothie or bourbon or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If unlike Rick, you don't need to hold on to the woody part of the spear.
Hey, let's keep this program G-rated, please.
All you need to do is hold
right.
the top in one hand and the bottom in the other, and just bend it, and the spear will break
where it's supposed
right
to.
where it's supposed to, and you'll get the woody part and throw it away.
Oh,
So,
great tip. No pun intended.
Well.
Great tip.
But I was surprised at how easy it was just to eat it out of hand, and the tough woody part actually made it easier to hold because.
What size were they? Were they large? Were they jumbo?
I would say they were medium size, a medium size spear.
And were they al dente after 5 minutes in the microwave?
This was it was a little bit crisp, but it still had been cooked. So it was very tender and easy to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
by the way, eating asparagus with your fingers is absolutely polite. You can pick up your asparagus spear right off your plate, even in the fanciest of settings, and eat it. It's considered good manners.
Interesting. I didn't know.
Oh, that's good.
So if you're ever at Kensington or Buckingham Palace, you pick up that damn grass.
That's it.
All right. Now, if you cook it for 5 minutes and then
it's a long time. When's the last time you had your microwave calibrated? That seems like a long time to be cooking asparagus.
You've got to realize this microwave steamer is made in such a way that it steams the vegetables. It doesn't cook in the same way as if you just put them in there with no water, because the steam, you're steaming them. So
I understand what steam means, or when you put water in steam, so you don't have to say steam 3 times, but I don't know. I just think that's a very long time.
Well, it probably takes 3 minutes for the water to start to boil to make steam. I'm guessing. I just use 5 minutes.
Why don't you find out? I think that you should know this.
I do know
how long it should take to
cook it 5 minutes and
to
and it was
boil the
perfect.
water. And you could use an Insta thermometer and let's see how long it takes to get to 212.
But they didn't get mushy. You're saying they
were perfect. And when I steam vegetables, as soon as I pull them out of the microwave, I don't just pull the lid off really quick and let all the steam go. I let them sit there and rest for maybe 3 minutes so that the steam all drips down, and it doesn't dry out, so to speak.
The
And,
condensation.
Then I always drink the water that's left over. It's like a broth, it's really good.
Yeah,
Do-
and all
do-
that plastic, all that paba stuff on it. Like, you're just like
Yeah.
drinking that, like, cancerous.
Do you mix that with bourbon?
Let's see.
No. So what I want to know,
Use it as a stir stick. You could use it
You
for a-
could.
stir stick, maybe in a Bloody Mary instead of celery.
Yeah.
There we go.
But I was thinking you could actually do that and put them out for hors d'oeuvres, especially since it's proper, according to Teresa.
Yeah.
You could
As
dip it
long
in the
as you don't-
salsa.
Yeah, but
you
you
could dip
can't
it in
double
salsa.
dip it.
No, double dip.
Double.
Did you see, Rick must have seen that episode, huh? Double dipping.
That was a good one.
So Rick, you
Yeah.
ate that last night, this morning. When did you eat it? Eat the
I actually steamed it last night, but
Yep.
for some reason I thought, I wonder how this would be for breakfast. So
all right.
I put a couple of spears on my plate with my eggs, and it was pretty good.
So when you went to pee this morning, did you smell anything unusual?
No,
You
I
must
didn't
be
eat
one of
enough
those-
of it.
That'll
Probably
probably be
nothing.
tomorrow.
I can eat 2 bites of it and I'll smell it.
It's actually genetic.
Yeah, I've heard that or seen
Yeah.
that before as well.
Yeah,
Not everybody
the-
can. Not everybody smells it, but I do.
Right.
Man, it is
Yeah.
wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to encourage them not to eat asparagus.
No, I eat it, even though you just gotta hold.
You
your
know what I'm
nose.
going to do? I'm going to eat like a half a pound of it tonight and see if I can notice that tomorrow.
You'll probably be pooping your brains out.
That won't take long.
I'm sorry, not a half a pound. Not a half a pound. I'll just have 8 ounces.
Okay.
Many of you may have had white asparagus, but to cultivate white asparagus, the shoots are covered with soil as they grow. Without exposure to sunlight, no photosynthesis starts, and the shoots remain white. Compared to green asparagus, white asparagus is believed to be less bitter and much more tender.
I've never actually had it, but I have a friend in Germany whose grandfather grew it exclusively. That's all he grew, and he was a multi-millionaire just
Wow.
growing white asparagus. At a certain time of the year, because, like you said, was obviously in Germany, you're not growing it year round. And that grandfather flew on the Hindenburg on
Oh, my
like
goodness.
its second flight, and he had a very high quality movie camera and shot footage on the Hindenburg. And my friend has this footage. He's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
He's shown me the foot. It's unbelievable. The luxury on that thing will blow your mind. It was just
But
unbelievable.
how many times when it burst into flames? Like, was that the 15th?
I don't know,
Flight
but
or
it
like
hadn't.
the-
It was still pretty new, I think.
It was the last time. I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Germany is probably the biggest consumer and grower of white asparagus. It's very
Oh,
popular in Germany. Purple asparagus differs from the green and white counterparts, having high sugar and low fiber levels. Purple asparagus was originally developed in Italy. And I've got to say that I'm not sure if I've ever even seen purple asparagus. Do you guys see it very often?
I have seen it and I've eaten it, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be, as most purple vegetables are, they tend to be more higher in the antioxidants.
Mhm. Asparagus thrives in soils that are too saline for normal weeds to grow.
Huh.
Thus, a little salt was traditionally used to suppress weeds in beds intended for asparagus. They originally are from maritime regions in Europe, places that are close to the ocean. And one of the reasons that they thrive there is because of the salt in the soil.
Yeah.
Asparagus is said to be a useful companion plant for tomatoes, as the tomato plant repels the asparagus beetle. Asparagus may repel some harmful root nematodes that affect tomato plants. So hence they're good companion plants.
Except
Don't put the salt in the soil, though.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. The salt. Just have salty tomatoes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Would anyone like to guess who grows the most asparagus in the world?
Yeah, let's guess.
I would
Germany?
say Peru. I'd say Peru.
No.
California?
Italy?
This is kind of like our traditional microwave joke. China.
Okay.
Of
Uh,
course.
China grows the most of everything, it seems.
Yeah, they got the most people to do it.
Yeah, they're the world's largest producer, followed by Peru and Mexico. In Europe, asparagus season is a highlight of the quote unquote foodie calendar. In the UK, the season traditionally begins April 23rd and ends midsummer. The green asparagus crop is significant enough in California's Sacramento, San Joaquin River Delta region that the city of Stockton holds a festival every year to celebrate it. Oceana County, Michigan, the self-proclaimed asparagus capital of the world, hosts an annual festival complete with a parade and an asparagus queen.
oh gosh.
How would you like to meet the asparagus queen?
Hey, well,
She's probably tall with green hair.
Well, I
Very
competed
thin.
in the Miss Florida Citrus Commission nonsense. Yeah.
Did you have to sing and do the
No.
contest?
No.
What was Marilyn Monroe was one of those queens. Which one was she? Artichoke, Teresa?
Idaho potato.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
think
You
she's
know.
artichoke. I think she was the artichoke queen, wasn't she?
I think so. She was an asparagus queen, but she was artichoke queen. I
Well,
think.
there is a famous picture of her with the Idaho potato burlap bag for a dress. You guys have seen that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Google that one. I think she may have done a promo for Idaho potatoes, but they actually made her a dress out of a 100-pound Idaho potato sack, burlap.
Mm.
And she still looked pretty good in that
I
thing.
bet you she did. Yeah.
Most women wouldn't be caught dead going to the dance in a potato sack, but
You're Marilyn Monroe. You can wear a potato sack and
All right. Thanks, Rick, for all that about asparagus, one of my favorite veggies. We hope it is for you too, listeners, and that you'll be serving it up this spring. It's the most delicious right now, fresh spring asparagus, ready to be put on your plate. We've enjoyed celebrating these veggies that are celebrated every year in the month of May with you, listeners. Hope you enjoyed it. But now it's almost time for us to end. But we can't end without one other necessity. So, Produce Buzzers podcast fans, it's time for your favorite segment on the Produce Buzzers podcast. Where are you all going? Come back. No, you have to listen. Teresa is going to punish you with another pun in home grown. Teresa, what is our pun of the day?
Well, since we're on the topic of salsa dancing, I'd like to know what's the worst thing about salsa dancing.
Okay, what is the worst thing about salsa dancing? Well, probably if I did it, that would be the worst thing, but I don't do it. Rick, what's the worst thing about salsa dancing?
well, you have to do it barefoot, and then you get tomato juice and onions and garlic all in between your toes.
Now that's making wine.
New recipe for salsa. Rick has come up with it. Okay. All right. Cynthia, you don't have a guess?
Nope.
All right. Teresa.
Okay. So the worst thing about salsa dancing is that it won't stay still long enough to get the chip in it.
Oh,
Ah.
I should have
Err.
guessed that one. Oh, man. Rick almost got it with his dancing on tomatoes.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Hey, that's what we should we could get publicity if we made the world's largest batch of salsa and did it with our feet like they do with the wine, like Cynthia.
As we're salsa dancing, that would be good. That's a good idea.
And then you'd have to cook it afterwards because it wouldn't be very sanitary.
Yeah. And who's going to pay for the medical bills if we slip and fall? You know?
Exactly.
There you go.
Or if somebody gets food poisoning trying to eat it.
Put the cilantro and the garlic in there and we're golden. That's antibacterial.
Well, when you make it at home, when you're slicing up all that stuff, you're touching it with your hands. So as long as you sanitize your feet first,
Right.
Yeah.
it should be okay. Right, Cynthia?
Mm.
And
Correct.
check everybody for toenail fungus.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Right in my mouth. I had to throw up.
Although, wait a minute, though, fungus, mushrooms.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
it's
true.
adding more great nutritional benefits that mushrooms have, right?
Oh, hilarious. Oh gosh.
Well, thank you, listeners, for tuning in to the Produce Buzzers podcast, brought to you by Produce Buzz, the gathering place for lovers of fresh fruits and veggies. We hope you were entertained a bit and educated a lot about fresh produce. Be sure to join us next time, and please tell your friends to do so as well. Like, share, and comment on our Produce Buzz Facebook page, and check out our website at www.producebuzz.com. There you will find articles about fresh fruits and veggies, how to select, store, and prepare them, as well as lots of interesting facts about all the wonderful bounty the earth provides for us. Until next time, be fruitful and don't forget to veg out.